Great. Buddy, I have terrible news for you. You are just gonna have to, it's that way. There we go. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Corey and I wish you a wonderful day today. I hope that you're well. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. So let's start by finding a comfortable seat, whatever that happens to look like in your body. Remember that you have options, right? It's comfortable for me to sit with my legs folded, but if it's not for you, please take another position. You can sit with one leg out, you can sit with both legs out, you can sit on a block or a cushion, all of that works fine. Once you've found your comfortable seat, even if it's on the lap of your yoga buddy, take a moment to come to stillness, to just soften into this space and this time. I invite you to bring your hands to your heart and close your eyes and just begin to cultivate some nice deep belly breathing. Now, as you breathe, begin to feel that breath become movement. So on your inhale, roll your spine out nice and long, sit a little taller on your mat. And then exhale to soften. Feel your body melting, releasing tension. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to soften. And we'll just feel that a few more times. Feel the rise and fall of breath, of movement, of your body working together. On your next exhale, release your hands down by your sides. And on your inhale, sweep your fingertips up to the sky. Now we're going to turn our palms to face down. Exhale to root your energy into the earth, pressing out any anxiety. Inhaling, opening up light, radiance, energy. Exhaling, pressing out, rooting any tension. And we'll just feel this pattern a few times. Now, as you breathe, as you move, begin to notice if it would feel good to change this pattern in any way. So if it suddenly occurs to you that it would feel really good to leave your arms up and stretch it out, or walk them forward, or at a side stretch, begin to honor those little requests within your body in this space of movement meditation. Just addressing what would help your body feel better right now. And then nice and gently and gradually make your way all the way back to seated. Draw your hands to heart center and take a moment to set your intention for your practice this morning. So today's physical practice is going to concentrate on grounding, on earthing our energy, on calming ourselves down. And so if those intentions work for you, I invite you to pick one of them. And if not, of course, choose the intention that serves where you are right now. And then once that intention is set, simply walk your hands forward. Sweep your feet around behind you. Let's find our way to tabletop. As always, let's get some spinal movement in, right? On your inhale, roll your heart forward and tip your tailbone to the sky. Exhale, coil your belly in and drop the crown of your head. Inhale to roll open. And exhale to coil. Now, if this is absolutely perfect, if this cat-cow sequence feels great, then you stay right here. If you'd like to, you're also welcome to find free-form movement. So shifting your body from side to side, forward and back. Again, just finding places where you are experiencing tension and seeing what you can do to ease those spots. And then find your way back to tabletop. Let's center our knees under our hips for our calf stretch. On your inhale, extend your right leg long behind you and then lower the tip of your toe down to the mat. And let's begin by pressing into that right heel. Now remember, you have options here. So if this is too much, you can always come out of that stretch a little bit. You're also welcome to choose between staying in a static stretch, staying still, or finding a slow roll into and out of that stretch. And it'll feel different depending on the day in terms of what feels best. So experiment until you find the right stretch for you. And then find your way back to your tabletop, lowering that right knee down. Let's feel that on the left side. Extend your left leg long, and then lower your toe down to the mat. Begin to press into that left heel. Again, remembering you have choices in terms of the intensity of the stretch and whether it's a static stretch or whether you're finding a slow rolling motion. And then lower that left knee down. So from here, we are going to meet in forward fold. You can get there a couple different ways. You can walk your hands back to stand, or you can step your feet forward. Once you have found your forward fold, remember, you can always support that fold with a block at the top of the mat, or you can just surrender. Wherever you find yourself, I invite you to try to let your body melt. Try to relax your head and your neck. If it would feel good to rock from side to side, like this feels nice in my body, feel free to do so, to just release a little bit of tension in your lower back. And then come back to stillness at the center. Bend your knees, exhale, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Release your hands down. Let's get set up for our first round of namaskars, our salutations as we open our practice. Let's find Tadasana, mountain pose. Now in your mountain pose, you want your feet to be parallel, directly beneath your hip bones. So there's about 1.5 fists to 2 fists distance between. Once you've placed your feet, bring your hands to your belly and start by giving your belly some love. Just do a little soothing self-massage right here. And then find that space underneath your navel where there's that little triangle of muscles. Draw those muscles in and up and you will feel your tailbone lengthen. Shoulders roll back and down, palms face forward. Feel how tall you are right now, how strong. On your inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale to fold forward. Bend your knees enough that your fingertips can touch down to the mat or to a set of blocks. On your inhale, step your right leg long behind you and lower down to your right knee. Now, take a moment to check in with your alignment. You want to make sure your left knee is directly over your left ankle. If you're using your blocks, set them up so that you can come up for lunge. So we're going to melt that right hip toward the mat, heart is reaching forward. On your exhale, let your hips draw you back, let that left leg lengthen. Inhale forward to lunge, melt your right hip. And exhale, shift it back. Inhaling forward to lunge. And just follow your breath right here, gently beginning to open our lower bodies. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Plant your hands, bring your knees together. We're going to find tabletop one more time. From here, begin to roll your heart open into cat-cow. Exhaling, coiling your belly in. Inhaling to roll open. And once again, you have choices here, right? So you can stay with your cat-cow. You're also welcome to find free-form movement again. So just stretching it out. Find your way back to a neutral spine in tabletop. From here, walk your hands, one hand span forward, and shift your shoulders over your wrists. So we want to set up half plank here. So our knees, hips, and shoulders are in one long line. And just do a quick alignment check, right? Let's slump through our midsection, feel that it's bloody awful, and then dial your core in. So we have a nice strong plank. From here, with control, bend your elbows and begin to float your way down to the mat. And if this gets to be too much, just come all the way down. Walk your toes back, create space. Bring your fingertips wide, they can come off the mat. Begin to roll one shoulder and then the other. Free your spine. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders. Turn your toes under, press back. Find your tabletop, or if you have one in your practice and you'd like to feel it, you're welcome to take downward facing dog here. Wherever you've landed, find movement. So if you're in tabletop, that's cat-cow or free-form movement. If you have chosen downward facing dog, take this moment to walk out your dog. Really get some length into the backs of your legs. Notice where you're carrying tension. And then come into stillness wherever you happen to be. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to step your right foot forward between your hands. Remember, multi-step movements are fine here. If you were using blocks before, go ahead and grab them. Set up that nice low lunge again, right knee forward, and just checking in to make sure that right knee is directly over the right ankle. So let's feel flowing lunge on this side. Inhale to look forward, melt that left hip. Exhale, shift back, right leg starts to straighten. Inhaling forward to lunge. And exhale back. Also remember, you can walk your hands forward and back with you. So if that helps you get a better stretch, feel free to move. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Turn your left toes under to lift your back knee. Look forward and then step together and fold. Soften. Relax your head and your neck. Rock from side to side. Find a little ease. And then come to center, to stillness. Bend your knees. Exhale, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's reconnect with that Tadasana, that mountain energy. So just replacing, reseating our feet if necessary, strengthening through the belly, open across the heart. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. This time on your inhale, halfway rise. Bring your hands to your shins or your thighs. Roll your heart forward. Collarbones are nice and broad here. Exhale to fold. Inhaling, halfway rise. And exhale. One more time, halfway rise. Just creating so much length along our backs. We're really going for a flat back here. And then exhale, plant your fingertips. Inhale to step your left foot back to lunge and lower that left knee down. So let's take that flowing lunge into a slightly deeper stretch this time. Inhale to look forward. This time on your exhale, as you shift back, let your right toes rise. Remember, you can continue to walk your hands if that helps. Inhale, shift forward, bend that right knee, sink through that left hip, and exhale, shift it back. And we just follow our breath right here. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. From here, knees come beneath the hips. We find tabletop once more. From here, walk your hands, one hand span forward and shift your shoulders over your wrists. So we're going to set up our half plank again, making sure, as always, to keep your core engaged so you don't slump and put a crunch in your lower back. Now, if you're feeling a little ambitious, you are welcome to turn your toes under and take full plank here as well. Wherever you find yourself, on your exhale, bend your elbows and once more float your way down to the mat, just coming down if it gets to be too much. Once you make your way all the way down to the earth, bring your fingertips wide, roll one shoulder and then the other, opening, relaxing, freeing your spine. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders. Turn your toes under, press back, tabletop or downward facing dog. Wherever you feel comfortable, find a little bit of movement and then come into stillness. On your inhale, look forward. Exhale to step your left foot forward between your hands. So let's set up that lunge on the left side. So as always, we just want to make sure our left knee is directly over our ankle. Grab your blocks if you were using them. Inhale to look forward and exhale to shift back. Again, we're going to let those toes rise this round. So feel your left toes reaching toward the sky. Remember, you can walk your blocks forward and back. Inhale forward, melt that right hip toward the earth. And exhale, shift it back, left toes rising. And just follow your breath. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Turn your right toes under to lift your back knee. Look forward and step together to fold. Soften. If it would feel good, remember you can always rock from side to side here. You can even find your elbows and dangle in ragdoll. Just find some ease. And then come to stillness. Exhale, bend your knees, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. Check in with your mountain pose, with your Tadasana. Reroute, re-engage as necessary. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Bend your knees, plant your fingertips. Inhale to step your right foot back to lunge and lower that right knee down to the mat. So this time, let's walk our hands up our left knee. Now, if you find your way up to low lunge and this is unstable, take a block and place it right by your right hip so that you can always put a hand down if you need a little extra help balancing. On your inhale, lift up and out. Feel nice and tall, our heart stays lifted. Exhale, sink into that left knee to find your right hip melting a little more toward the earth. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, sinking. So we're getting a deeper hip opening here. And remember, we want to keep our heart lifted, right? Our upper body doesn't move that much. This is all about the lower body. On your next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Bring your knees beneath your hips, finding tabletop. And then walk your hands, one handspan forward, shoulders over the wrists. So yogi's choice right here, half plank or full, your choice. We're gonna build just a little bit of heat. So I invite you rather to engage your belly on your exhale. So feel your navel drawing toward your spine. Inhale, heart and heels reach away from each other. Exhaling, coiling. And inhale. It's a very subtle movement. Even in full plank, you don't see it very much. You're gonna feel it more than see it. Now on your next exhale, everyone bring your knees down to the mat. Even if they're lifted, bend your elbows and float your way down. Walk your toes back. Let's bring our fingertips to directly beneath our shoulders this time. So I just totally lost the name of that pose. For Cobra, we're gonna keep the backs of our necks nice and long. So turn your gaze to the mat. On your inhale, roll your shoulders all the way forward, up and back and down. And exhale, soften down to the earth. 2 more times. Inhaling, rolling open. And exhale. Once more. Turn your toes under, press back. Tabletop or downward facing dog. On your inhale, look forward. Exhale to step your right foot forward between your hands. If your back knee is lifted, please lower it to the mat. We're going to walk our hands up that right knee. So same thing on this side. If this feels unstable, just grab a block and bring it over by your left hip. And then let's find that pulse. Inhale, lift up and out. Exhale, sink deeply into that right knee. Melt your left hip toward the floor. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to sink. And just remembering again, we keep our heart lifted, our upper body is nice and still. We focus on melting and moving through our lower body here. On your next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Turn your left toes under to lift your back knee. Look forward and exhale, step together and fold. Again, just finding surrender, finding a little bit of movement. Come back to stillness at the center, bend your knees, exhale, roll your way up. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, last time through our opening salutation, our opening namaskar. Reset your Tadasana if you need to. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway rise. Shine your heart forward. Let your tailbone reach away. Collarbones are broad. Exhale to fold. Inhaling halfway. And exhale. Halfway rise, we're going to sustain here for a few breaths this time. So wherever your hands are touching, let's use them as a point to press our hearts even more away from our hips. Breathe nice and easily here. You'll probably feel this along your back, maybe in the backs of your legs as well. And then exhale, melt. Plant your fingertips. Inhale to step your left foot back to lunge and lower that left knee down. So let's walk our hands up. We're going to combine the arms that we opened class with a lunge. So on your inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, turn your palms to face down. Rooting out any energy that does not serve. Inhaling, opening. Exhale, rooting energy down. On your next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Tabletop. Walk your hands, one hand span forward. Shift your shoulders over your wrists. Half plank or full, your choice. Now I want your slow motion chaturanga. So see if you can take more than one breath on your way down to the mat. Moving slowly with control, and again, your choice. Half plank or full. Keep your belly engaged the whole way down. And then once you reach the mat, let's walk our toes back. Creative cobra, fingertips are wide. One last big, soft, juicy shoulder circle. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders. Press back, tabletop or downward facing dog, your choice. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to step your left foot forward between your hands. Walk your hands up that left knee. And I forgot to mention this last time, but remember, you can always place a block by your hip on the open side to help feel stable. So let's find those nice releasing arms. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, palms turn to face down, press any tension down into the earth. Inhale. So this can also be a really great spot for lion's breath. And both hands come down to the mat. Turn your right toes under. Lift your back knee. Look forward and step together. Full lunar pause right here. Let's take a moment to just suspend. Try to let your head be heavy. Try to relax through your back, your hips. Find movement if that would feel good. Just softening. Come back to stillness at the center. Bend your knees. Exhale, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release your hands down by your sides and come on down to the mat. So for core cultivation today, let's start all the way down on our backs. Draw your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Come to stillness at the center. So before we begin our core work, let's do a little bit of hip opening with just a little bit of core. So I'd like you to draw your navel toward your spine and feel your lower back pressing against the earth. So we've got a little bit of tension right here in our bellies to help keep us safe and grounded. Relax your arms down to the mat, palms face down. Now, starting with one leg, and I don't care which one, you can use whichever one you'd like to, begin to draw big circles. So we're going to keep our knees bent, but we're going to draw a big circle coming from the hip on one side. And then find your way back to center. Let's feel that on the other side. So that other leg begins to open out, drawing a big circle. And just checking with what's happening with your navel. So a lot of times once we start moving, another body part will lose the space we're holding. So just re-engage through your core. And you'll notice as you move your leg, you're going to feel different parts of your core working. It's a pretty cool illustration of the fact that you think of our abdominals as like one muscle, and it's not. It's many small muscles all working together. And come back to stillness at the center. Now from here, we're going to press our palms down to the mat and press our heels to the sky for yoga scissors. On your exhale, drop your right heel down. And we're going to keep pressing through the heels, right? So our legs are nice and active. Maybe we come down to a 45-degree angle, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Inhale back to center. And exhale to lower that left heel down. Inhaling back to center. And remember, you could tailor this movement to what feels right in your body today. Also, just that quick note, keeping an eye on our bellies. So we want to keep engaged. We want to still feel our lower back pressing against the mat, continuing to draw our navel in. And on this next exhale, let's draw our knees in and just rock from side to side. Let it go. Make your way all the way up to seated. One last core cultivator. So let's set up a nice strong V seat, the base for boat pose, Navasana. We want to feel our feet pressing against the earth, nice deep V seat in the legs. And you want to be sitting slightly forward on your sits bones. So we don't want to have a deep round in the spine here, right? We want to be able to sit forward, nice long spine, and lifted heart. Let's start with our fingertips behind the nooks of our knees. On your exhale, hinge back from your hips. Inhale to shift forward. And exhale to shift back. And we just want to stay engaged and stay lifted. Now you can stay right here with your fingertips behind the nooks of your knees. If you'd like to turn up the heat a little bit, you're welcome to float your hands and shift back. Maybe finding just a little bit more challenge right here. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward and fold. Let it go, rock from side to side. Now from here, we're gonna make our way all the way up to standing. You can get there however you would like to, and I'm gonna adjust my camera real quick so that you can see all of me. So take a nice wide stance on the mat. And we're going to start with our feet a little bit angled. So our feet are going to be at about a 45-degree angle. And your toes are going to point out. Now from here on your inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, root your palms down, passing through heart center as you bend your knees. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, pressing down. Inhale. So the movements in energy have different names. Rising energy is called prana, rooting energy is called apana. And we're doing a practice right now that does both of those. So prana rises, exhale, apana roots. Just releasing energy down into the earth. On this next inhale, find your way all the way back to standing. Hands come to heart center. Release your hands down. Now from here, we're gonna bend that right knee, leaving our left foot dialed out to the sides. We're opening toward our warrior two. So we're gonna have our feet perpendicular, spaced widely. Hearts are open to the broad side of the mat. Radiate your arms out to either side. Flip your right hand to face the sky. Inhale, sweep up and back, reverse warrior. Exhale, right elbow or right hand to that right knee. Reach your left arm long. And then inhale, up and back. We're just opening our side waist right here. Find your way back to your warrior two. Release your hands down and straighten that right leg. This time we're going to let our feet be parallel. So we'll just turn that right foot. So now our feet are both facing forward. Inhale to sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Your hands can come down to the mat or to a block at the center of the mat. And let's start just by surrendering. Again, using that Apana energy, rooting down on the exhale, releasing any tension, any stress, any anxiety down into the earth. And with every inhale, feel yourself growing just a little bit lighter. From here, let's bend that right knee and walk our hands over to the right side. Press the edge of your left foot away. Inhale to center, sink over to the left and press the edge of your right foot away. Inhaling to center and over. So just a little flowing Skandasana here, staying nice and open through the hips. And then walk your hands over to your left side. Turn your left foot to face the short side of the mat. Exhale, roll your way up, setting up warrior two on the other side. So we'll release our hands down. Take a moment to seat your Vira two. So our right foot is facing out, left foot is facing to the short side of the mat. Turn your heart to the broad side of your mat and radiate your arms. Let's find that dancing warrior. Turn your left hand to face the sky. Inhale, sweep up and back. Exhale, left elbow or left hand to left knee, right arm reaches long. Inhale, up and back. And then find your way all the way back to your warrior two. Release your hands down. Straighten that left knee and let your feet become parallel. And then simply step together. So we're going to do a little bit of work with standing balance. One of the great things with balance work is it really concentrates us on rooting energy and single-pointed focus. Now, if you already know that today is not a good balance day, and it's okay if it's not, sometimes it's never a good balance day, I invite you to find your way to a supportive surface. So I've got a little bookshelf right here, so I'm going to have this next to me just in case I need it. So let's start by rooting our left foot down into the earth. And then we're going to build a nice strong base off of that. So really feel your energy, your weight moving into that left foot. Engage your core, shoulders roll back and down. From here, let's find some hip mandalas. So we're going to start by just coming to the toe of that right foot. And we're going to roll around in a circle. Now, if all is well, if you're feeling nice and rooted on your left foot, maybe you bend your right knee. And find slightly more lifted circles, more elevated hip mandalas. And remember to go nice and slowly here. Good. Let that right foot come back down to the earth. Wiggle it out a little bit. Let's feel that on the other side. So we're going to root the right foot. Again, stacking, right? Rooting down into that energy, strong core, shoulders roll back and down. And we'll bend that left knee and start with that toe down as we draw big circles on the mat. So same thing, if all is well, you're welcome to bend that left knee a little bit more and find your hip mandalas floating a little bit higher in space. And then lower that left foot down. All right, so let's start moving toward tree pose. As with all things yoga, remember there are 10,000 places to be on any journey. From here, let's root that left foot down. This time, we're going to find that nice, strong, engaged belly, open heart, and we're going to bend our right knee and then turn that right knee out to the side with that toe still on the mat. So we'll feel the open hip first. Then think about where you'd like to place your foot for tree pose today. So it might come to the side of your calf. It might also come to your inner thigh. The one place it does not go is directly on your knee joint. Once you've found where you would like to put your foot, bring your hands to heart center and find a spot to gaze at that doesn't move. This is called a drishti, a gazing point. And you just want to breathe. Keep your breath nice and easy. Now, if this is enough, you stay right here. If you'd like, you're also welcome to add some arms. So we can sweep our arms to the sky, finding branches. And then one last option, stay right here, or we add that prana apana arm movement. Exhaling, rooting our hands down. Inhaling, rising and opening. Exhaling to root. On your next exhale, release that right foot down to the mat and wiggle it out. All right, let's feel that on the other side. So we're going to root into our right foot again, stacking, feeling strong, feeling open. Come to the toe of your left foot and open your knee out to the side. And just notice how this feels. We're going to keep that open hip as we place our foot. So again, maybe that left foot comes to your calf, maybe it comes to your inner thigh. Once you've found your preferred position, hands come to heart center. Find that spot to gaze at that does not move. Stay right here, or if you would like, add some branches. Stay right here, or if you would like, begin to find prana apana arms. Exhaling, rooting energy down, pressing into the earth. Inhaling, breathing in new light, new hope, new energy. Exhaling, rooting out that which does not serve. On your next exhale, release your hands all the way down. And we'll just set that left foot down and wiggle it out. Nicely done. Excellent work. So from here, find your way all the way down to the mat. We're going to come all the way down onto our backs. Draw your knees into your chest once you've found your way down to the earth. Rock around a little bit just to massage your lower back. And then we're going to stabilize right here, coming back to center, to stillness. Lower the soles of your feet down to the mat, just beneath your glutes. So we still have a nice deep bend in those knees. Turn your palms to face down. Now we have options here. We're going to move into a little back bend sequence. So our first option is a dynamic pelvic tilt. On your exhale, draw your navel toward your spine and draw your tailbone toward your crown. So we're feeling a little C shape right here in our bellies. Inhale to release. Exhaling, coiling in, lower back is pressing against the mat. Inhale to release. So this is option one, and if this feels amazing, you stay right here. Option two is low bridge. So come to a neutral spine, but then re-engage through the core. Maybe not quite so strongly pressing the back against the mat, but feeling a little bit of tension right here in the belly. On your next inhale, press into your feet to lift your hips up off the mat. Exhale to soften just a little. Inhale to lift. Now this pulse is also prana apana. So on that inhale, feel your body rising. Exhale, feel that energy sinking down into the earth. Again, just following your breath. And on this next exhale, we're going to roll all the way down, vertebra by vertebra. Draw your knees into your chest once you arrive back down at the mat and rock from side to side. Let's find our way all the way back up to seated. Draw your left heel in toward your body and extend your right leg nice and long. Turn your heart to face your right foot. So we're going to find a nice single-legged forward fold right here. As always, create space first so we get nice and long. Exhale, hinge from the waist, and then allow your fingertips to fall wherever is natural. So that might be your shin, maybe your thigh, maybe it's your toes. What's most important here is that on every inhale, we let our heart and our toes reach toward each other, and exhale to soften. Inhaling, lengthening, feeling that back nice and flat. Exhaling to fold. And then gently walk your hands back. Let's feel that on the other side. Draw your right heel in, extend your left leg long. Turn your heart to face your left foot. Create length first, get tall, and then exhale, fold forward. Again, wherever your hands land is fine. Every inhale creates length. Every exhale, we just soften into that space a little bit more. Now, as you're ready, roll your way back up and come to a comfortable seat. Just like in the beginning, remember that this can look like many things. We're going to do a little bit of pranayama, breathing exercises, before we move through our closing sequence. So I'd like you to find some place that feels comfortable to sit. So one of the most effective methods within yoga for self-calming is a breath technique that is called Nadi Shodhanam, and it is the alternate breathing, one nostril and then the other. So we're going to do that today. So take your dominant hand, take the peace fingers of your dominant hand, and place them right between your brow. Now we're going to take our thumbs and place that over one nostril, not sealing it, just pressing over. And then that ring finger will come to the other side, right? And again, positioning so it's over the nostril but not sealed off. Now, seal off your left nostril. Inhale on the right. Switch it out. Seal right, open left. Exhale. Inhale left. Switch at the top, open right. Exhale. Inhale right. Switch at the top of the breath, open left, and exhale. Inhale left. Switch. Exhale right. Inhale right. Switch. Exhale left. Inhale left. Switch. Exhale right. So I'm going to go a few breaths without cueing. And then simply release your dominant hand down and return to your normal breath pattern. So when things get stressful, and they do, remember, you can always come to alternate nostril breathing. It helps slow your body's rate of respiration down. And one of the interesting things that happens is when we We trick our body into relaxation, our minds relax as well. These systems are connected. So if you can slow your body down, it will slow down your thoughts as well. So let's find our way all the way down to the mat. Draw your knees in, rock from side to side, and then come to stillness. Open your arms out to either side, make a nice big T on the mat. Drop your knees off to your right-hand side and turn your head to look to the left. Try to just let the earth hold you here. No tension. And come back to center. Let's feel that on that left side. Drop your knees off to the left and turn your head to look to the right. Draw your knees back to center. If there is any additional movement, any stretch, any asana, anything you would like to feel before we close our practice today, take a moment to feel whatever that request happens to be. So maybe it's a fold or a twist. Maybe it's a little time in happy baby or an inversion. Whatever would feel really lovely. That's what you put right here. And then as you are ready, begin to make your way toward your Shavasana. Now remember, you have options for Shavasana. So you can lie flat on your back with your heels wide, toes pointing out to either side, palms facing the sky. Now, if you notice that this is uncomfortable in your lower back, you're also welcome to bend your knees and keep your feet the distance of the mat. Drop your knees together in the center and let your skeleton hold you as you relax. You could also take Shavasana on your back or choose to take seated meditation here. What's most important is that you find a space where you can come to rest and stillness. So take a moment and tune in to your body. If you notice any places of discomfort or tension, try to move those spots to soften them, to melt them. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes and your forehead. Draw your awareness to your breath moving into and out of your body. And if you find that you are drawn into a thought cycle during Shavasana, simply return to this feeling of your breath. And then simply let go and float. Allow your breath to create space within your body. Begin to find some little movements to bring you back to this day, to this time. Point your toes away and reach your arms up overhead. Take a nice deep breath in, full body stretch. Then exhale to draw your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Eventually find your way all the way over onto your right side and just curl into the posture of the sleeping child. So right here in this space that you have created, breathe in from your practice whatever you most need for the rest of the day. Maybe it's peace or stability, compassion or love. Whatever that happens to be, just breathe it in. Let your yoga practice nourish you. And then whenever you are ready, use your hands to help press yourself up to a nice, easy seated position. Bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes. We're going to close our practice today with a round of Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, a prayer for peace. Inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you very much. Let me go stop the recording real quick.